President Trump has made good on his central campaign promise tonight, a major crackdown in illegal immigration.
Immigration agents have been told that they can now arrest and deport anyone found in this country without documentation if they have committed even minor crimes. Trump supporters are thrilled, critics outraged. KCAL political reporter Bryan joins us now with the details that came out earlier today.
That's right. Much tougher enforcement, and both sides tonight are talking about it. Tonight, the Trump administration, in crucial details, is filling in about how that crackdown on illegal immigration will work. And at a town hall meeting in San Fernando tonight, there was plenty of talk about fear and negative consequences. At a town hall meeting on health care, the subject that was clearly on the minds of many who attended was deportation. Congressman Tony Cardenas, who called the town hall, was angry about the federal crackdown on deportation and immigration, a centerpiece of the new Trump administration.
You better believe there's a lot of fear, Dave. There's fear. We have parents whose children are American citizens. They're not sending their kids to school, not because they don't think their kids have a right to go to school. They're just so scared that their kids are going to come home to an empty home that had an ICE raid, and these are sweeps that shouldn't be happening. People just want to go to work, Dave. People just want to feed their family.
But supporters of tougher rules and more deportations charge opponents are wildly exaggerating what these new guidelines would do.
Those laws exist not because we want to be mean to people and keep them out. It's because we understand that mass illegal immigration has a negative impact on a lot of people in the United States. There is an effort to whip up hysteria that, somehow this is just a massive police action that is taking place. It is going back to the policies that were in place prior to President Obama.
The new guidelines outlined by the Homeland Security Secretary would increase the number of immigrants who would be considered high priority for deportation, speed up deportation hearings, hire 15,000 new Border Patrol and immigration enforcement officers, erect new detention facilities, and discourage those who are seeking asylum. It would also enlist local police and sheriff's departments to help enforcement. But at a city council hearing last month, an LAPD spokesman said that's not the job of the department.
The LAPD is not responsible for the enforcement of federal immigration laws that use administrative and civil remedies to detain and remove undocumented immigrants from the United States.
Nobody is asking the LAPD to be immigration cops. It's not their job. That is the federal government's job to do. What should be expected of the LAPD is that when they arrest somebody for another offense and ICE puts out a detainer notice saying, hey, this is somebody that we have been looking for, that they cooperate with ICE just as they would cooperate with a request from any other police force in the United States.
We are just educating ourselves on this new hostile environment that our communities are in.
For LAUSD elementary school teacher Claudia O'Connell, the impact of the new rules can be seen in the faces of her students.
We see the faces of what these executive orders are affecting our families. They're scared. The children have reasonable fears that they might import their mothers and their fathers.
And the California State Senate president told CNN the Trump administration is talking out of both sides of its mouth on immigration.
On one end, they're really pushing the narrative of the criminal felon, the murderer, but at the same time, they broaden the criteria to include, without a doubt, nannies, housekeepers, busboys. So this is the beginning signs, without a doubt, in my estimation, of mass deportation.
Now, as we reported yesterday, the new immigration policy guidelines do leave in place the Dreamers program for those who were brought to the U.S. illegally as children and are now being granted work permits and are immune in most cases to deportation, at least for now. Lena?
Yeah, Dave, there were some recent developments on the border wall that the president wants to build. What's the latest on that?
Well, there's plenty going on now with the border wall. That program is really starting to ramp up. One of the questions is whether the Department of Homeland Security can handle a massive project of building a huge wall over hundreds of miles or more. The latest estimates are the wall construction could cost more than $20 billion, and even some Republicans are starting to wonder if it's worth it at that price. And tonight, CBS News is reporting that a 2011 project to strengthen about 50 miles of border walls in Arizona has been canceled, but not before DHS spent about $1 billion. At that rate, just imagine what 1,000 miles of wall construction would cost. Jeff?